We're finally back. Let's be honest. Monday show, not a real show. This show is a real show that is real and has previews and takes and stuff like that in it. So it's the best one to watch. That's it. I've got nothing else to say.
So, just about that. Good week?
Yeah. No, not really. Not really.
Oh.
Not the best week in the world, as it comes to be. But that's only because there's only been one Uniball game on, and I can't hack it. I need to have more than.
I need more.
I need more. I need more. I need more. I need more. So yeah, we're going to preview week 9. There's some good games. A lot sort of going on in Uniball, of course. They'll be ticking across the bottom on the screen. We'll be talking about them. I don't know where everyone else is. I know where they are. I know that Cam's in Leeds and Jamie's in the desert, but
both alive and well.
Both alive and well. So yeah, we're going to get into it. No national Premiership games this week in British University American football. So yeah, we can't talk about any of those unless you want to talk about games that aren't happening. SJ?
Nah.
No. Right. Okay. So let's get into it. Premiership North. We've got another varsity battle between the Newcastle Raiders and the Northumbria Mustangs. Last time around, the Northumbria Mustangs did come away with the victory. This time it is in Newcastle. I'm sure that there'll be some level of home arena.
Aren't they like 5 minutes away from each other?
Yeah, they are. Yeah, it's not a long journey for anyone between the Newcastle Raiders and the Northumbria Mustangs. Both of them are 2-2. I've the only one that's picked the Northumbria Mustangs.
Let's be honest. This one's actually been marketed as their varsity game. This one, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. I like that.
Which is nicely like an in-season varsity game. Similar that like so many people ask us, "Hey, we're going to do our varsity game. Would you like to comment on it?" And it's like, it's an exhibition game, really. You know, we're not trying to be rude about your game, but it's not real.
It is
real. It's real, but it's not league play. When we're covering league football, then we're happy to not talk about varsity. But when the season's over, who knows? Maybe we will actually cover it. Who knows? So I mean, for this one, I mean, obviously Northumbria beat them last time. Both of them were at 2-2. Realistically, a big step for the winner here. I don't think that either team are getting relegated this year. Obviously, they're both in the bubble, but unless Leeds goes on a tear here, but let's say Leeds does go on a tear, this is going to be able to really help someone out in terms of not being relegated.
Yeah, I think, like I said on Monday, isn't it? It's like Warwick need to win this one just to keep themselves away from getting sucked in.
Yeah, I really can't see this going any other way than with the Warwick Wolves for their game against the Leeds Griffins. Obviously, Leeds Griffins are 0-4, not 0-6. Don't know why I said not 0-6 because that was an internal memo that I put them at 0-6, like their friends up at the LBC. But yeah, I can't see Warwick taking this loss.
No.
Like if there's one thing that we know about Warwick is they're a very spirited team, and losses annoy them. And to have, two, and especially one of them, against Newcastle, yeah, they're not going to be very happy. And I suspect a pounding. I suspect the pounding come in the way of the Leeds Griffins. If I'm completely honest, it sounds harsh, But that's the truth.
We haven't said that to Cam, have we?
Yeah, but he should be on the show. And so, well, to be fair, he's at training, so
he's at training. Make sure that doesn't happen.
Exactly. He's at training, which means we can almost guarantee that it's going to be an absolute thrasher. Prem South, good game here. Cardiff versus Portsmouth. Obviously, Portsmouth, coming away with a late season victory over the Exeter Demons. I don't think it's enough. I think it's going to be at good old Clan Rumney for the Cobras. I think the Cobras are heating up. I think get the Cobras to 3-3, and then they've got a showdown with SGS Pride on the 6th of Feb on Friday, which I will be going to because I think that there's a chance here that the Cobras could walk away with the victory over SGS, and that's a moment that I feel like in my heart of hearts I'd like to be a part of.
I think it's I can't see them struggling against Portsmouth. I know Portsmouth had a couple of changes in terms of personnel, but yeah, I still see it's going to go Cardiff. I think Cardiff will just keep knocking on. I think that game against SGS will be an absolutely huge game. I think I wouldn't say it's out of the possibility that Cardiff go 5-3.
Yeah, I mean, I think I was thinking this the other day actually. Like, is there a possibility that in this, Bucks touchdown Tuesday got that clarified? Touchdown Tuesday, in the final, Brunel versus Cardiff in Loughborough. Could it happen? I mean, I'd be all over it, of course. I would be all over it, but I mean, it's a big ask for Cardiff to get there. So, interestingly enough, we've all picked Cardiff, and then Exeter Demons versus Brunel. Obviously, the first time around, Exeter did pose a little bit of a problem for Brunel, and then we've seen sort of Brunel when they've travelled to Cardiff when they faced SGS was slightly more difficult. I think a post Christmas Brunel is a dangerous beast because I think at least if I understand how James runs things, that it's very much a tight ship, and they have to understand that despite the fact that you are undefeated, that you are undefeated, just imagine the feeling of if you lose to Exeter,
I think intensity's gone up at training. Like yesterday was probably the most intense I've seen it in quite some time. And I mean, it's a long way to go. This is the longest we're going to have gone in recent years.
I mean, that's the only thing. I mean, like Exeter, I wouldn't say had Brunel's number. They had some of the numbers, but I don't think it's going to be able to translate. I think Brunel know that, but then it's sort of like what happened with the first Exeter game where Exeter had all this time to prepare for Brunel, which allowed them to do a bit better. Also considering that their games are live streamed courtesy of Dev Star Sports, so you are able to actually. Well, it's true.
Go back and watch it. Go and have a look.
You can go and have a look, right? But obviously this time, Brunel and Exeter, they've both had time to prepare for the game, so I think it would be something different. Don't get me wrong. I don't think it's going to be a shutout. I think Exeter are still going to fight, but realistically, at the end of the day, for Exeter, they've just got to hope that Portsmouth continue to not win games, and also that they manage to beat them in that return fixture as well. Which it is a shame that it is going to be either someone's got to go down. It's never fun when someone goes down, unless they really, really deserve it.
But who's ever gone down where we've gone? Yeah, they deserved it.
Well, it's going to happen this year.
Is it
Northern one?
Oh yeah, I suppose.
Yeah. Stream Hearts versus OBU game. No, because it's on the same day as Brunel versus SGS.
And you didn't say please.
And you didn't say please. Don't get me wrong. I really wanted to go to that game, but unfortunately, I can't be at two places at once, and that's the same day. So, unless it's on later on in the day, then I can
5 o'clock kickoff.
Yeah, if it's a 5 o'clock kickoff, I could probably make it to do it, but it's on the same day. Like this is it. There's so many games that I wish that I could be at, but I can't be at because I'm just one singular person. So yeah, I mean, if it's up to me, I'd be at Cardiff versus Portsmouth, Exeter versus Brunel. I'd be at a fair few games.
You bet all these games.
I'd be at all the games. Yeah, let's be honest. I'd be at all the games if I could be at all the games, but I can't be at all the games. So I've got to pick. I've got to pick and choose which games, especially because I think that Hearts versus OBU game. I think it's a really good game. I think OBU were they had a big run up until their point with facing Hearts. And I don't think, as much as that's the Hearts Hurricanes count, I don't think it's as cut and dry as Hearts just take it. I think if OBU can maintain that consistency, and also it's in Oxford, I believe, that I think it's a great game, and I genuinely wish I could be there.
Mhm.
We've already spoken about it, Tyler. Everyone else has gone for the Raiders. I've gone for the Mustangs. So we would talk about it more, but we have already spoken about it. Let's go to Scotland with, I think, two good fixtures this weekend for the Scottish one. The first meeting this season of the Glasgow Uni Tigers, currently 3-1-1, versus the Edinburgh Napier Knights. We sort of understand that obviously the Napier Knights are very much on top of the division once again, and the Glasgow Uni Tigers, they're really the last speed bump here for the Napier Knights, because they've managed to beat the brakes off of everyone else. Don't get me wrong, I don't think that they can do it, but it's nice to have that level of intrigue. Yeah.
I think it's this week's ones have probably been some of the hardest ones in terms of trying to pick which one I think it will be. Particularly that. Yeah. Last man standing was tough.
Who'd you go for?
I gone for KCL against Kingston.
That's fair enough.
I'm
Sterling,
very upset if.
Well, I'll be able to tell you live. Danny's watching. Danny, let me on your show. You can come on this show. The Sterling Klansmen versus the Edinburgh Mavericks. 2-2 and 2 Mavericks. Sorry, 2-2 and 1 Edinburgh Mavericks. 3-2 Sterling Klansmen. Right now we spoke about it on Monday that the Glasgow Uni Tigers are Glasgow, Stirling, and Napier are all in the playoffs right now. Edinburgh are the odd man out, 2-2 and 1 versus the 3-1 and 1. Again, if I'm the Sterling Klansman, I feel disrespected. Don't call me out like that. I think Sterling, they've got to feel disrespected that they've been quite handily thrashed by the Napier Knights, and they don't seem like a team that lets that go and will pass that aggression on to the rest of the teams in the Scottish one.
Yeah, I think they'll have a strong second half of the season.
Yeah,
I think they've still got a lot to prove. So I'm pretty sure I've gone Sterling. If not, then that's funny.
Yeah, I believe we've all gone Sterling. We've been pretty dull in our choices this week. I think there's only about 3 games. I know Jamie's sort of gone off the deep end when it comes to Division 2 South. But I mean, yeah. So in the Midlands and Yorkshire one, great rematch here again. Another game that if I could be at, I would be at it. It's the Sheffield Hallam Warriors versus the Nottingham Green. So Nottingham knocked them off in the first fixture. But Sterling, last year in the second half of the season, managed to come away with 2 big victories over the Green, both in the regular season and in the playoffs to eliminate the Green. I've gone for Hallam. They always seem to, for me, Hallam always seem to turn the burners on the second half of the season. They always start very, very hot, which is, a very desirable thing in Uniball. It is a long layoff. You don't see layoffs like this in college football or the NFL to have like a month and a bit break. Basically a 2-month break. Hallam always start really hot, so I've gone with Hallam, but that is a pick of the heart and not so much of the head.
Yeah, I think Green are the favourites.
100%. Yeah,
I'd be surprised if they don't go unbeaten, but I think that game will be close. I don't think that'll be a runaway at all.
Yeah, so do I. I think it will be close. I'd be very surprised, but I do think if the Nottingham Green take this victory away from the Sheffield Hallam Warriors, we do have to start putting a touch more respect on the Nottingham Green when it comes to the postseason, because right now it is very much dominated between the Napier Knights and the Lancashire Rams, but Nottingham Green are there and they are a dangerous team. I do also think no matter which way it goes, Hallam, they'll probably make the playoffs. I think they're a good team. The North has got some good secondary teams. And moving on to the Northern one, I'm not entirely sure if this one has to have too much conversation regarding it. The Lancashire Rams versus the MMU Eagles.
It was bad when we say with the Rams. There isn't much to say really at all. The playoffs,
No, I mean,
it's just so dominant. I think I don't see this going any other way other than the Rams.
No,
yeah.
I really don't.
Be challenged until the playoffs now.
Here's the thing: you'd think that like the Tyrants would be their biggest challenge, but it still doesn't really look like it's even a competition at some points with the Lancashire Rams. So, there's not much to talk about as much as that's discounting the MMU Eagles. I like the MMU Eagles. I always sort of push for them and try and create this narrative that they're going to have a bounce back in the second half of the season. But over the last 3 years, it hasn't really occurred. So moving on, again, I think this one is another one that I don't really think requires too much discussion, and that is the Manchester Tyrants versus the Edge Hill Vikings.
Yeah, I mean, Edge Hill, it just kind of feels like he's just got to get through the season.
Again, like Edge Hill should be proud of the fact that they are a Div 1 side. Because there are, so many teams in British University American football that simply have never made it that far, right?
No.
So they've got to be proud of that particular fact. But they were going into one of the toughest divisions in the country, and and then with the double relegation rule in place, it was going to be a very, very, very uphill battle for Edge Hill. And yeah,
it just is. Stakes are always higher, aren't they, in that Northern and Midlands division, just solely because of that double relegation. But yeah,
exactly.
I don't think there's much more on that one, I'm afraid.
No. So in the southeastern one, we have got the game that I will be going to along with TJ. It feels weird calling him American TJ, but
yeah, I was thinking that was like, what use my team?
So just so people know, yeah. So we'll be going to the Kingston Cougars versus the KCL Regents. Obviously, Kingston seemed to be clear of the relegation zone, beating UCL by, I can't remember what the score margin was, but they beat UCL by a larger score margin than UCL beat them the first time around. So they're safe right now, as long as UCL don't win another game. But KCL 3-0-1. I really do worry about the Southeast. We saw it last year where I think we thought the Southeast was better than it was. And I do worry slightly that we're doing the same thing again because it's so tightly packed. Obviously, Brighton are in the mix as well, but KCL and Kent are the favourites. And they've got to KCL taking on Kingston and Kent are taking on UCL.
I think the useful thing is like this will be the first game that we'll have seen in the Southeast like live this season. So I think that normally gives you a good tell, doesn't it? If you've been to certain, we've seen Div 1 Southwest games and South games. So
yeah, exactly. It's like I'm excited to see how as much as Kingston are the home fixture here. I'm excited to see how KCL do because wasn't it both Southeast teams last year were eliminated round 1 in the playoffs?
Yeah, Southeast was the first one out.
Because it was 3-0 Kent versus Hearts, and then it was 20-0 Bristol over KCL, if I recall correctly.
Yeah, and it was Brunel UEA, which was like 50 something.
Yeah, exactly. So it's going to be interesting to see. I'm excited to see. I mean, Kingston know that they're going to have probably a lot of eyes on them, considering that me and TJ are going to just film them all day long, just rocking up. So yeah, I mean, it's interesting to see. I mean, it's also interesting to see the Cougars here because they look like they're going to be staying up. They're a team that can build. Obviously, they managed to get promoted last year. UCL versus Kent. I don't think UCL can do this.
I think they've got, I know they had a lot of injuries back end of last term. So we'll see if that makes a difference. I'd like to see them keep it close, but I think Kent are Close.
To answer that question, it is Harry Owen, who was a receiver on the Gloucestershire Gladiators when I was there.
No context provided. It just makes it perfect.
Yeah, I'm not gonna read it out on stream. I like having my I like being able to put the age rating on Spotify to everyone. Southwest one again is going to be another Northern one sort of conversation here. It's the Bournemouth. Obviously, they know that winning is winning, and also they're hosting Plymouth. You know,
yeah, it should be a fun day out at Chapelgate.
Yeah, I really can't see this. And don't get me wrong, I am disappointed with how Plymouth season's gone because I like the blitz, and you know it was a tough road for them to get up. Looks like they're coming straight back down. But at the end of the day, they're traveling.
I think that Southwest is just a tough division to go into.
Yeah, I mean, because let's be honest, like this is it. Like one of the games that I really wish I could go to. I don't think I'll be able to go to it. It's the UE2s versus the Swansea Titans because I really it's just because Swansea's gone up and down, and it's you know I'd like to see someone new just as a media person for the sport. So
You're gonna hate watch.
Yes, yeah, I'm gonna hate watch the Swansea Titans. I want to see the Bullets twos go up. I really do, just to see something new. Can they compete with the likes of Bristol, Southampton, Bath, and Bournemouth if they don't make the playoffs and get promoted, which is a possibility if we're honest. But yeah, I mean,
if Swansea goes straight back up again, that is quite funny.
It is quite funny, but I just stay there, please, because like there are some real like Division 1 stalwart teams that are in that Southwest. Like if Bath, I know Bath only went up like 3 years ago, but if Southampton or Bristol come down,
how long have they been in there for?
Well, not that.
Southampton's pre-COVID. They've been in there for quite a while.
I'm fairly certain Bristol was the year after COVID.
It's just afterwards.
Don't quote me on that. So
no,
yeah,
it can't be because Bobcats were. I think they went up pre.
No, you're right. You're right. No, that you're absolutely right. It was Bournemouth were the first ones to go up after that. So like, it's not massively long, but like, I feel like in my time of coverage, you know, I feel like there's you know BC and AD, but it's like before Tebs and after Tebs. So I only really know after Tebs, of course.
I'm trying to learn. Starting from.
I think after Tebs has to start from like 2020.
Oh.
I think after Tebs.
I'm like 4 BC. I'm like 4 BT.
Yeah, but like I'm trying to learn more, which is why I'm going back and looking at. But it's really difficult because like there is like a blind period in trying to find results and stuff between like 2009 to 2018. Don't get me wrong, I've got a guy who's got all the results, but I
can literally give you it all from like I can give you 2016 and 2017. Like right now.
Then do it then.
What right now?
Yeah.
So Div 2 South was promoted was Brunel, Plymouth, and Canterbury. Canterbury got promoted on like having like 4 walkovers or something, and then with a number 1 seed.
No way, you kidding?
yeah, the number 1 seed. North, yeah, no, that's it. That's as far as I can go. No, Portsmouth went up. It was Beckett and Portsmouth in the Div 1 final. Portsmouth had been on like a 20-game unbeaten streak at that point. Beckett won. I can't remember who the winners were, the national champions were.
All right, so you can't then. So you've just lied.
No,
you've lied. You've lied on. That's nuts.
Sterling. I'm looking it up.
Okay, fine.
Go carry on.
Let me read this next question. Gosh. I think I'd go back to University of Gloucestershire, to be honest. We only had one. We only had one of them, and it was a guy called Bailey Brimble, lovely bloke. So while
I've
SJ
eventually
doing
got a
this,
spreadsheet, by the way.
oh, just send it to me then, or read it out on stream. I really didn't know this. Well, I've got a guy.
Huh?
I've got a guy with all the information anyway.
Got a guy.
Got a guy with all the results. Look the results up to my veins.
Sterling and Hearts won the Prem South and North.
Okay, Southern won. Moving on. Give me one.
I can't find the championship on there. What's going on?
Southern won. Just look on Wikipedia. UEA Pirates versus Birmingham Lions. I want Birmingham Lions. I think they were very, very injured going into the Christmas break. So yeah, I think it's going to be Birmingham. Obviously, Birmingham are having to travel over to Norwich to face the Pirates. I don't think it'll come too much of an issue. I mean, this is it. The Birmingham Lions know the situation that they're in, because if they lose this game, then they'll end up with the same record as the UEA Pirates, and that could lead to some real problems. God forbid we live in a world where Birmingham go double down, which I don't think will happen. The UEA Pirates would need to really, really go on a tear in this game, and I don't think it will happen. So,
who's made this Wikipedia page?
Oh. I don't know. You got anything to say about that game, UEA versus Brum?
No, I'd expect Brum to run away with it. Really?
Yeah, run away with it.
Can't hear.
Run away with it. You expect them to run away with it?
Yeah.
Oh, bloody hell. Big. Right. Okay. So Div 2 now. Salford Storm playing in their third game against the Staffordshire Stallions. Staffordshire have only played one game so far. I don't see why it can't be the Storm.
Yeah, I think we both said this. Yeah, why not?
Yeah, don't get me wrong. I like Staffordshire. They've got they have got good players, but you know,
we like the story.
We're sort of pushing the narrative in our heads that, you know, I don't think with that loss to Lancaster that the Salford Storm are in any danger of winning the division. Which, truth be told, with the interview we had with Coach Aaron over there, that wasn't the goal. The goal wasn't to immediately come in and take the division. You know, it's to just keep getting better. And if Salford Storm can get a playoff berth in their first season, that is mega for a brand new team. So yeah, both going Salford. Midlands 2, Cambridge Pythons versus Lincoln. Lincoln haven't won a game. God willing, the Lincoln Colonials win a game of football. I'd love them to win a game, but I don't think it's going to happen here. I really do think that the northern
Cambridge,
the northern playoffs, the Northern Conference Cup, is somehow running through Cambridge. I really think that, and it's either going to be the Pythons or the Siege, which, you know, as we said, hopefully at the end of the season, on the last week of the season, that you yourself, SJ, will be at Cambridge versus ARU. You've already said that you would be.
When is that?
The last week of the season, 22nd.
Oh, it's 22nd. Oh yeah, I can be there.
Yeah. I don't know why you're acting like this is a surprise. We have had multiple conversations.
I thought for some reason it was the first week in Feb, like the 7th, 8th.
No. Yeah, I mean, Cambridge here against Lincoln. Can't see the Colonials, especially considering that the Colonials are travelling to Cambridge as well. You know, I've done that journey. It's a very boring, dull journey. It's just a straight line.
One straight line.
It's terrible.
It's not even a motorway. It's just single carriage.
I hate it, so I don't think Lincoln will be able to do it. Obviously, ARU fell against DMU here, so I think that sort of all narratives regarding the ARU siege can sort of be squashed. Like their flame can really be put out if they lose to the Coventry Jets, and like Cam's strangely high on the Coventry Jets. considering that they're 1-1, and that one win was against Lincoln. Yeah, I think AIU really need to pull their finger out here. They need to get to that final week of the season, because it was a 1-point game the first time AIU and Cambridge actually met this season. So they really need to pull their finger out and get there and be in championship contention, because they lose to the Jets here. Realistically, it's all over for them. So, but that being said, we have all picked Cambridge and we have all picked AIU. Moving on to the Southern two, this is where we get into people who are, this is where people start playing silly buggers with the picks. Chichester Spitfires, who are 0-2, versus the Surrey Stingers, who are 2-0. Jamie, for some reason, has picked Chichester. The reason why I feel like we can't doubt Jamie that much anymore is because he managed to get that DMU versus AIU game bang on the head, and DMU were able to walk away.
We've got to trust him with everything he says now.
Yeah, he's got some level of oracle out in Doha, but yeah, I can't see it. Don't get me wrong. I like Chichester. I wish nothing but the best for Chichester, but don't interrupt the story of my Super Bowl Sunday, which is going to watch Reading versus Surrey. Please don't. Don't interrupt it for me. So yeah, Surrey Stingers. That's it.
Yep, Stingers.
I don't think we've got much to conversate on that. Southeast 2, obviously Jamie's gone for the City Wolfpack over the Imperial Immortals. I think Imperial, it's not as bad. It's not as bad. It's not a great pick. It's not a good pick. I think Imperial's the same as ARU. They need to get to the final week of the season so they can have a championship showdown with QMBL. Obviously, Imperial right now are ahead. Very much the complete same as ARU versus Cambridge, in the Imperial only beat QMBL by 1 point. And that game, that's the game that I'm targeting to be at for the last week of the season, QMBL versus
there's a lot of leagues has just worked out quite well in the sense. I think there's quite a few divisions that can be decided on the final day.
Yeah,
I mean, like everything wraps up.
I mean, realistically, I think it's the Southeast 2. The Southeast 2, I think. I don't think the Southwest. I think the Southwest 2 will be wrapped up by then. I mean, you look at the Southern 2 final week of the season: Surrey versus Holloway, Solent versus Chichester, Sussex versus Reading. That could potentially cause some issues for the Reading Knights. QMBL versus Imperial, ARU versus Cambridge. LJMU and Salford could potentially be one. Obviously, Leeds Beckett versus Loughborough. But yeah, I think I fairly said, where is it? Swansea versus UE wins that. That is Super Bowl Sunday. So I'm not going to be there for that one. No, I'm going to be in Reading because it's on the way to London. And I will say, I do have a regret about the Super Bowl before we get off the air. And that is that I didn't expect to be invited to so many Uniball Super Bowl parties. And realistically,
you personally.
Well, yeah. Well, you've got one. I'm an independent. You can just go and do Brunel's one. I've already invited you to my Super Bowl party, and you have actually. You said yes, and then you said no.
I never said yeah. I said yeah. I'll think about it. I said I'll let you know how Super Bowl goes.
Yeah, I'm not interested. Yeah, I genuinely, what was that?
Fine then.
I genuinely regret not realizing that I could just. Someone would invite me to a Super Bowl party and I could just go. Because the people who I'm going to watch Super Bowl with, I don't think they watch this show. So
I can say this. Which is quite funny when you think about it, knowing the full context.
Yeah. Well, exactly, right? They don't watch this show. So I can just say I am generally disappointed in myself.
Terrible, mate.
Like I don't think I can get out of it at this point, which is a shame because I would, prefer genuinely.
You're gonna get a message now saying, "Why'd you say that?"
Genuinely, SJ. like the Cardiff Cobras have asked, I think that'd be really funny. I think I bet the Cardiff Cobra Super Bowl parties are absolutely hilarious. I would go to that.
I think they still hate me after what I said about their DBs, supposedly, allegedly.
Yeah, that's why you're not invited. And this is it. Still, for people who are going to watch this back, I still want to host someone's awards night. I've only got 2 offers, maybe 3, and it's Salford and Gloucestershire. Give me more. I want more.
Just going to start paying a fee for you to do appearances at end of awards.
No, I've said this, that I think I'll have to up it from 2 beers to 3 beers. That's it. 3 beverages. That's all I ask. And it has to be live streamed by me as well. And that's what's important, because I need it for the portfolio. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to bid you adieu. Get on with the rest of your Friday. Go to training, whatever.
Have fun.
We will be posting on Sunday for the Kingston Cougars versus the KCL Regents. Then on Monday, we've obviously got this show. Tuesday, I'm doing some DCS content, but that is pre-recorded, so keep your eye out for that. And on Wednesday, I'll just announce it now. We've got a live Q&A with the Director of European Operations for the International Arena League. So, I mean, stay tuned for that. It's going to be an interesting one. So, yeah, and maybe I will, dependent on timing, I would like to go to NTU versus Newcastle, but also last time I drove to Nottingham, it took me 3 hours to get there because it was so bad. If I wake up at like 9 and the weather's nice, then I might go. But then also I have to be home to conduct the interview as well. So, yeah.
Busy.
And then next Sunday, where am I on the 1st? I think I'm doing a double in Bath again. I've got them all listed out. Yeah. Yeah, you are. My plan is for, I'll just give you my plan for people who are still here. So February 1st, my plan is to do a double in Bath again because it's Bath versus Bristol. I think that's a very, very good game. But earlier in the day, of course, it is the Bath Spa Bulldogs versus the Worcester Royals, where I will be going to exclusively hate watch, which is fun. And I will be doing coverage of that game, and it will be biased. So that's fun. February 8th on Super Bowl Sunday, I have a burning desire in my heart for the Reading Knights versus the Surrey Stingers. On the next week, it'll be Brunel versus SGS, which will be live streamed live on Depth Chart Sports. And final week of the season, when am I doing final week of the season? QMBL versus Imperial. That's what I'd like to do. Coming to Cincy for the England game. You know the answer to that, Danny. I want to try some Skyline chili if I do. That's sort of my only thing. I don't know if it's any good. Because I've been to Cleveland and I actually liked Cleveland. So, I mean, no more waffling. Go and enjoy your Friday. We'll see you on Sunday, on Monday, on Tuesday, on Wednesday, not Thursday, Friday, maybe Saturday, and then Sunday again.
Busy every day.
So basically, the only day you don't have to see this is next Thursday. Sorry.